Greetings. Go to Black Light. We're going to get right into it, exposing the sellouts, starting with our black woman, because by now, all these leaders and teachers have came to us. She should know what she should be about. So we're going to start off with saying a wise man will hear and will increase learning, and a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsel. I'm Black Light, the supreme council of the elders. See, because the elders ain't giving you counsel no more. Most of the elders done sold out. Most of the elders done fell in love with the almighty dollar bill. Proper name is the Federal Reserve note, which is a debt note. And they done sold out to sex, and their will has been broken by the will of the Caucasian. And we have no one to sit us back on the right course anymore. After the coming of Master Farad Muhammad and the coming of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he said, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said before he passed, he will have no successors. And they went on ahead and elected Wallace D. Muhammad, aka Wharf D. Muhammad, as his successors. Then they chose to elect Mr. Farrakhan as a successor, when it clearly states, Elijah clearly states that there will be no successors. He don't choose successors. He said that. He said the only one coming after him is Allah, God. And so, but the people still chose Farrakhan. After Wharf Dean sold all of the assets and the money and the school, not the schools, he kept the schools, but most of the banks and all the businesses in the nation's name, they allowed Wallace. Of course, the courts upheld Wallace. They was glad he was doing it. Because the courts is the devil's courts, and they even gonna break some rules to make sure he get that done. And now, I don't know how many farms they have left, but there's no more banks. Banks are important in a community because if you got a black bank in a community of black people in the ghetto, and especially Nation of Islam banks, they would have recycled that dollar, gave loans out, property loans, all types of loans, and kept that money in the community so it could build itself up. But now that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is gone, You see how black businesses is dwelling, and now that the pandemic then came, it's not, really killed some of the smaller black businesses. Our black people are totally being misled by sellouts because they think the white man is going to win. I can't understand any other reason why a man that seen or knew that Allah was in the person of Master Farah Muhammad would cross over to the other side, to the enemy side, just for some money. There's no other reason for that. See, I could talk like I'm talking because I was born and raised right here in Detroit. My uncle, or my mother's brother, was a Muslim, was a gangster turned Muslim. He had two other brothers, but he couldn't turn them. He couldn't turn them into a Muslim. But my mother, who was the youngest out the whole bunch of them, she had 3 brothers. Would have had 4, but one died, and a sister. And they protected her, looked out for her. She was the youngest. So my uncle turned my grandmother into a Muslim. She was already a Muslim, but he made her remember who she was. And my sister and his sister was a Muslim. He turned her into a Muslim, or made her remember and know herself. Now I could talk a whole lot on that because I was born in 1946. Born 1946. Here's my mother's due book. You see it's old as hell. And the earliest date on here is 1948, I think. I thought I seen one for 47. But she put me in the nation while she was carrying me. I remember as a little child, the American flag and the Muslim flag, the Nation of Islam flag, and a hanging man, black man, and Armageddon, which one will survive? I remember them talking about it. And I remember because my mother, it was so hot that it was real hot. And my mother, it was so hot I had to go to sleep. So a brother came up to my mother and say, "Sister, put some water on that brother. Take him to the water fountain, refreshing him up. Put some water on his face, wake him up." I remember, and my mother took me to the water fountain and put some water on my face, came back, and I seen my uncle standing post, and I don't know if he was a captain, but he was on post. Him and Malcolm X were real close. My mother worked in the same restaurant as Malcolm X. So they worked side by side. So I know what I'm talking about when I said that the black woman dropped the ball. Muslim or Christian or whatever, according to the state of being that we are in today, she dropped the ball. So you're gonna witness what I'm saying this Halloween is being the truth. The UN is already here. They waiting on word because they want this election. They got plans for it. This is Black Light. Can't say no more. Time running out. See you on the next video.